That's itchy, forget it. Hi everyone, it's Tash and welcome to another recipe video. And because it's December, I am officially ready to talk about Christmas. So for today's recipe, I'm going to make a Christmas cake, but not a Christmas cake as you may know it here in England. I'm going to make a Sugee cake. And this is quite popular in Singapore with the Eurasian community. Now Sugee means semolina, and that is the star ingredient of this recipe, alongside ground almonds. There's just a little kick of brandy in it too. But not too much, it's not an overly boozy cake, it's just enough so you can get a little hint of it. Now I've made semolina cake before, and I've made almond cake before, and I've made semolina and almond cake before, but it was only recently that I read about Sugee cake and discovered what it is. I would have thought it would be one of those things that I would find in Malaysia because trending foods often cross between Singapore and Malaysia as they do in the world, and I'm hoping when I visit Singapore again one day I can find some. But for now we're going to make some. Now, even though I was quite sure the semolina and almond cakes I've made in the past would be quite similar to Sugee cake, I wanted to make sure. So, to make sure I was being as authentic as possible, although quite honestly, 100% authenticity would never happen for me because I'm not Singaporean, I'm half Chinese Malaysian. But I wanted to get as close as possible and see the history of it. And it turns out it's one of those cakes where every family has their own recipe for it, so there is no dedicated one true recipe for Sugee cake, which I like. I love it when everyone puts their own spin on things. But the most common trends I saw were a heckload of butter and using more egg yolks than egg whites. So using a combination of whole eggs and a few extra egg yolks. There were some recipes that just used whole eggs and didn't bother adding extra egg yolks in. But the majority of the recipes I saw did call for more egg yolks. In fact, some called for only egg yolks. So the texture of your cake is going to vary depending on how much or how little you add in. Obviously more egg yolks will be denser and more squidgy, and less will be a bit fluffier. So I went for a happy medium. Also, you don't have to add brandy, not everyone does, but a lot of people do, and I think it's quite a fun addition, especially if you're making it for Christmas. And some add lemon and orange too, and some add spice, but I'm just sticking to brandy this time. This is my favourite kind of recipe, by the way. It's a one bowl recipe where everything's just mixed up in one bowl, simple. So let's go to the kitchen and see how it's done. First things first, let's preheat our oven. And this time we're going to preheat it to 170 degrees C. Now here I've got 250 grams of unsalted butter, which I've softened at room temperature, and yep, that is a load of butter. And I'm going to add 180 grams of caster sugar. And I'm going to whiz these together until they're nice and fluffy. Now I'm going to add 3 whole eggs. And 3 egg yolks. So I've separated another 3 eggs. I've put the egg whites in the freezer and I'm going to use them for other things later. I do like a good egg white omelette, to be honest. And I'm going to add those in. So 3 whole eggs and 3 egg yolks. Give this another zhuzh. Now we're going to add 150 grams of ground almonds, 25 grams of plain flour, and 120 grams of fine semolina. This is our Sugee. Add a little pinch of salt, bring those flavours out. Let's give that a zhuzh too. Be careful, you don't want it all flying out of the bowl. And I've sort of roughly mixed it here, but I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients now. That's going to be 50 millilitres of milk, 2 tablespoonfuls of brandy, and about a teaspoonful of vanilla. Let's give this a good mix together. And that is our Sugee cake batter. Now here I've prepared an 8 by 8 inch pan, which I've oiled and lined with baking paper. And I'm going to dump this straight in. Oh, it smells delicious, super buttery with just a hint of brandy. I'm going to give this a few taps on the counter to even it out. And as you can see, knock some bigger air bubbles out. And this is going to go in the oven for about 45 minutes. Let's start with 30 and then we'll give it a look, but I think it will need 45. So let's do it. Here we are with our nice baked cake. It smells absolutely amazing. And now we need to let it cool down. And here we have a lovely cooled down Sugee cake. Now because it's Christmas, occasionally people do like to dress it with marzipan and royal icing, or fondant icing, the one that you can roll it out like Play-Doh. And some people just serve it plain, or they sprinkle some nuts over, or they sift some icing sugar. I'm going to do the icing sugar, and I've actually cut out one of those snowflake things, you know, you fold the paper again and again, you make some cuts and it comes out like this. This one, I actually found the method to online, so I'm actually going to link to that YouTube video in the description so you can see how to make this particular one. It was super easy, by the way. So I'm not actually sure if this is going to work because it is a little bit wrinkly, it's not sitting flat, but we'll see. Let's try. We can only try, right? And if it goes wrong, I'll just cover the whole thing with icing sugar. So here we have some icing sugar, and we're just going to sift it right on top. Now let's carefully lift this up and see if it's done anything. I am so nervous. Come on. Carefully lift it off. Oh, oh, it worked! Ah, I'm so scared. Hang on. I'm so scared to dump all the sugar anywhere. Yeah, it kind of worked. I'm gonna just do a quick rough estimate of where the half would be. That'll be the quarter. Ah, right where the heart is. I'm just going to do one. I don't want to cut the whole thing because I want some of those hearts left for the picture. And that cake is so soft. Oh my gosh. That feels amazing. Right, I'm going to turn it round, make my life a little bit easier. Actually, you know what? This might actually be better squares. 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, let's say for this, let's turn it into squares, so cut it 4 by 4. In which case, this would be around half and then half again. Again, right in the middle where the heart is. That is so handy. And then cut this in half again. That was a bit uneven because, like I said in before videos when I cut cake, I cannot cut straight to save my life. Anyway, let's do a big reveal. Let's look in the insides of one of these cake slices. Oh my gosh, look at that tender golden crumb. Absolutely amazing. I want to squeeze it, but I don't want to take any of the icing sugar away. Oh, what about this side? Oh, nice. Ah, okay, I'll put it down. I'll leave it alone. I'm going to take it away to do some photography. How cute is that? And this is actually the first time I've broken out my Christmas decorations. I'm feeling very festive now and very excited. And I'm just going to zoom in so you can see the texture of this cake. Absolutely stunning, so floofy. And I can smell the absolutely amazing buttery nutty smell. How amazing is that? Okay, I'm going to stop saying the word amazing now and I'm going to get to the slow-mo. Now this cake is delicious freshly baked, but I found it was even more delicious the day after. Just hear those sleigh bells jingling. I feel like I've held back on my Christmas spirit until now. There's a feeling of not being allowed to be excited for Christmas until December. But I love it, it's so kitsch, and I do like a bit of kitsch every now and again. And the Sugee cake is putting me in the mood. It's so fluffy and moist, and it's really difficult to believe there's no baking powder or anything in here, no raising agents. Anyway, without any further ado, I'm going to take a bite, so cheers! Oh, that's a gorgeous butter cake. And because of that fluffy, loose texture, it doesn't feel too rich and cloying, and it's not too sweet either. As you saw, that was super simple to whip up. And as you also saw on my photography table, I have a cup of tea to go with it. It's not just a prop, I actually wanted a cup of tea. So if you're not a fan of fruit cake, this may be the answer for Christmas. Oh dear, my kick light is dying. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed today's video and I hope you'll join me next Wednesday for my next one. Get the full written recipe on my blog tashcakes.com and find me on Instagram, I'm tashcakes.tastes. I'm also Food and Slow Motion on TikTok. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more. Give this video a like if you'd like it to help other people find it. Comment down below if you'd like me to make anything in particular, and I'll see you guys next time. Be good, be nice, and have a good week. How about this? Nope, that's even worse.